Well, what up, good people? Welcome to another episode of the Strategically Reckless Podcast. I am your host, Jay Brown, aka Mr. 710, and we are back up in this thing once again. Listen, it's going to be a different kind of show today. Just from the standpoint of, I've been meaning to talk about this. I've been wanting to do a series on fostering, and let me just go ahead and put this disclaimer out right now. It's not meant to bash or promote foster parenting. These are just my experiences and my opinions in regards to foster care and how I've dealt with it, how my wife has kind of dealt with some of these things. And feel free to post your comments and your questions down below. We'll be happy to hear them, happy to answer them, But just wanted to get that out there before I got started. And like I said, it's been interesting. We've been at it for about almost 5 years now. I feel like after we moved into the house, we were ready to rock and roll in regards to the foster care thing. And the crazy part about it is there's no handbook on how to parent. Whether you have your own or you are a foster parent, there's no, this doesn't work better if I use it. There we go. There's no handbook. There's no handbook on how to parent. Like, it is, you are at it. You learning on the job. And the unfortunate part about learning on the job when it comes to parenting is, all kids are different. Just like we are, all kids different, parents are different, situations are different. The way you view the world is going to be different. And so, with that being said, like, we had a training. There is training. It was for about 8 weeks. 8-week training, about 4 hours on a Saturday, but it felt like it was about 13-hour training. Like, that was the only like downside to it, but it was a bunch of good information, right? Like, I don't want you to get, feel like it wasn't. Like, it was a bunch of good information. Eye-opening with a lot of the stats. And, at the time, right now, according to the Department of Human Services, they're saying that it's 11,000 kids in care in Georgia. In Georgia alone, 11,000 right now. And that number is down significantly from the time that we started. And it's not because, I think when we started, it was north of 20,000 or somewhere around there, which, it's an amazing number. But I'm sure that COVID has something to do with the number being down. Not that parenting has gotten any better during that time, but the reporting has been lesser. Because, kids being out of school, they weren't being seen by people that would normally report such abuse. And, it's just one of those things where the number has gone down. But the need for fostering, that was one of the things that kind of, it still bothers me that there's a need. And so you look at it, and it's like during this training, they went over so much stuff. The types of abuse, from neglect to physical, mental, sexual, all the different reasons why kids could be in care, whether it's poor living conditions and things of that nature. And they went over the types of effects that it can have on the kids, but at the same time, you still don't know. It's hard to say how an event or a situation, circumstance, or what have you is going to affect, a kid. Some kids allow stuff to just roll off their back, and it's all fine and dandy. I'll just move on to the next thing, and I'll just figure it out. On the flip side, you have kids that it bothers them. It bothers the hell out of them, and it causes them to act way, way out of character. And so, one of the things, like during the training was interesting. And one of the things, when you have long trainings like that, for me, I am one that I got to entertain myself a little bit. And I know I embarrassed my wife on a few occasions, and it was particular parts in which they were going over some of the rules for that's been put in place for foster parents, and in regards to discipline. And with some of those rules where it's like, hey, you cannot tie your kid up and put him in a closet. You cannot put cigarettes out on them. You can't physically whoop them or anything like that. It was just this long list of things, and like to put cigarettes out on them and tie them up and put them in closets. I was like, I thought that this was supposed to be a safe haven for these kids, and it just sometimes it wasn't. And when they were going over the discipline, they were like, well, redirect and talk to them, reason with them. And when I embarrassed my wife, I was like, that sounds a lot like white parenting. And that, I feel like white parenting works in some situations, and in certain situations, this was a setup to get ran over. Like it was a whole bunch of rules in there that made me feel like these kids was gonna run this household. And you're trying to figure out how not to let that happen. At the same time, there are times when discipline needs to be had in some way, shape, or form. The training also addressed co-parenting. Now, I know that there are people that co-parent, mother and father. They didn't work or whatever, they broke up. Mom taking care of the kid, dad coming over and, doing what he does, taking the kid for the weekend, whatever. The traditional co-parenting situation, in that sense, is different. They just mother and father figuring it out. And this, what? Even with the traditional co-parenting situation, there are plenty of situations in which it don't always work. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a level of difficulty in making that work. And this is with somebody who, you would hope that you may, procreated with somebody that you would get along with, but that don't happen that much. But in this situation, and I use mine for example, my wife and I co-parenting with another set of parents, or another mom or another dad, which is, it's different. It's different because we're strangers. The kid is stranger. Their parents are strangers to us. They bio parents are strangers. And, one of the things that they talked about in the training was trying to make this co-parenting situation work without the foster parents bias towards the reason why these kids are in care. Like, understand what I just told you. Like, you trying to parent this person's kid, and you're supposed to be a resource for them, for mom, for bio mom, for bio dad, with the knowledge of, to an extent, and we're going to get into information, with the knowledge of why these kids are in care. And that part is tough. That part is tough because the training, while they may say, hey, you got to be a resource, you need to help this parent, with anything they need in order to get the kid back. I agree with that. This is what foster parent is for. It's set up in our case for reunification, like for these kids to go back home to family. We wasn't fostering to necessarily adopt unless that situation presented itself. But when they go over that, they talk about the attachment that you might have to a kid or a kid might have to you. And that's real. And what it looks like when it's time for that kid to go back home. Like, to be honest, and I just talk about this right now. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had about 15 kids in our house so far. There's been one that, that I've had an attachment to. Like, hey, this one, baby girl, this one, if there was a need for her to stay, I would be like, yes, I had no question about it. The other 14, we gotta have a conversation, baby. Yeah. But after you go through all of this, like, you give your preferences on age, the age range you would like to foster in, you get a chance to choose between the race of the kid, gender preferences, like, and it's all preferences. I'm gonna just tell you right now, they ask you about your preferences, and they try, let me put 2 quotes up, try to stick to those as loosely as possible. I mean, they try to get as close as possible, I think, maybe. As you can tell, it's 11,000 kids in care. It's not that they have trouble finding, something that's going to meet those preferences. I mean, but babies are difficult. It's mostly the older kids that have trouble finding placements because they're older. They already got a lot. It's already most of them, they're thought to have a high level of trauma just because of what all they've been through. When you get to this point, you getting your home ready, they getting ready to inspect it. You got they checking everything. They checking everything. They checking the house, and they checking you and anybody else that's in your house. And when I say checking it, they ask a whole bunch of questions, and some of them can be triggering. They talk about your past. Some of them, they talk about your past. They talk about your parenting. They talk about how you feel about your spouse or your mate, their parenting skills. If you have your mom and stuff living with you, or any other relative that's living with you, They asked about that, how your kid would deal with having another kid move into the house. Like they dig into it. And I get it. Some of those questions be a lot. Some of those questions be a lot. They want to know how much you make, where you work, orientation. They dig in. You opening up that book, and if you hadn't opened up that book of your life, you done tucked away a whole bunch of stuff that you decided that you did not want to talk about. Well, you gonna talk about it. You're gonna talk about it that day. And so, but I get it. It's necessary. You are taking care of another person's kids. This is what it all boils down to, and they gotta make sure that you right-ish. Like you right-ish. Like it's some stuff that they just gonna be like, well, we need you. And there's some stuff they just not gonna be able to let ride. I don't know what it is. We were fair. We were solid. You know, we were solid. But when you get approved, they call it. Oh, they call it. You get approved, and they know. It took them less than 48 hours to find out that we was approved and ready. Hey, Mr. Brown. Hey, congratulations. You know what? They called. And listen, I don't care how excited you are to help out a kid. If you're looking at it realistically, you are bringing in a stranger into your home. Now, if you only accepting babies, that's one thing. That's one thing. But even with the babies, even with 4-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10, 12, 11-year-olds, there is going to be a level of trauma that they are entering your home with. Even if it's something as simple as them being relocated from their home somewhere else with some people that they do not know or have any type of connection to. And I say that because when baby girl got to our home, the one that I'm still attached to, she cried for 3 days straight. 3 days straight, non-stop. She wasn't going. Unless her brother held her while he was playing Fortnite, she was crying. She was when I tell you she was a baby, like she was like 10, 11 months. Couldn't walk. But what she did know is that she didn't want to be here. She wanted to be with her mom. Couldn't tell us. But she cried like hell 3 days straight. I don't even know how she wasn't dehydrated. Like legit. 3 days straight. She was not inconsolable, however you say it. It was not cool. And you know, that could trade trauma of being relocated. And for some of those people, some of these kids, it's not even the first time. They done been place to place to place to place. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. Here's where it sometimes gets greasy. When it comes to the information. Yes, they give you information on the kid when they call you. Sometimes it's not a lot. Sometimes it's enough to make a decision. You know, and they don't tell you everything. Like you have to ask questions. You have to ask the correct questions in order to make sure that this kid will be a fit in your home. Because if you don't, the intention is for agency, DFACS, or whoever is placing to place the kid. Now, some people are like, hey, how do you know if it's enough information? How do you know if they're telling you everything you don't? What I will say, and I had to ask my wife just to make sure that I worded this correctly. They are honest about the kid to the point of not bashing them. Right? They're not going to bash the kid. They give you enough information in order for you to give the kid a chance. And then the rest of the information seems to trickle in. Now, sometimes, like I said, sometimes they don't have it. And if they don't have it, they don't have it. You will hope that they would get it before they called you. You will hope that they would get it before they got to your home. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a kid come to your home and then it's a kid with trauma and behaviors that you are not prepared or willing to deal with. Like that's the reality of the situation. Like I don't feel like they withhold information to be deceitful. But I do feel like information is given within a time frame, within an intentional time frame to have a placement, to try to maintain said placement, to give said placement a chance, just in case your home brings out another side of that kid that they will be able to prosper in and thrive in. I get that. I understand that. At the same time, as a real estate agent, if we knew something about a home, we had to disclose. Mold, water damage, roaches, we needed to disclose. Roof damage, we needed to disclose if we knew. What we couldn't disclose was if it was a high crime area. But the full disclosure and getting all the information didn't always happen with placements. Case in point, our first placement was an emergency placement. Like I said, it was less than 48 hours. Like they said, ooh, guess what? The Browns. We like the Browns. We got an emergency placement. Hey, guys, we need to take this girl. I think at the time she was 8. And let me say this, and I know that all parents can attest. You can think what you want about parenthood during the pregnancy. And about 73% of that goes straight out the window once the baby gets here. Like I don't know if there's a baby boot camp that will help you practice waking up at 12:17 a.m. in order to console a baby, get them back quiet so that you can get back to sleep and then go be productive the next day with minimal rest. Like, I don't know if that exists. I also don't know if there's a boot camp that exists for you to deal with disrespectful kids, especially if you were one that grew up in a home or a time frame or with a family that respect for your elders was something that was paramount. Like, respect was first. Our first placement, super disrespectful. She didn't give a damn either. Like, she was going to be disrespectful. She was going to say what she was going to say. And the best thing about that, I never had to guess about what she felt. When she wanted to do what she was going to do, was on and popping. And when I tell you, like, the level of disrespect, she talked to me in a way that I would never have even thought to talk to an adult. Not one that was taking care of me, not a stranger, not a teacher, none. I didn't understand it. I did not know how to deal with it. The training that we had just dealt with or went through 8 weeks prior cannot prepare you for how you feel when an 8-year-old tells you the reason why I'm yelling at you is because you don't never let me play my tablet. You always be laughing at me. You don't never let me watch TV. And you always be getting on my nerves. Excuse me? Is this what we doing? Because I don't understand that. I don't know how to deal with that. My first thought is, who the hell does she think she's talking to? Because this makes zero sense. Hey, can somebody do me a favor and send out a search party to see who the hell she thinks she's talking to? I pick her up from school. And like I said, the first day I pick her up from school, suspended in school, she come home talking reckless. And so I'm solo at the house. And it's bad when you feel like, as a man, my protection came in the form of an iPad. I was recording at least an hour to an hour and a half of my evenings just to make sure that I was safe. I'm safe. 6'2", 230 some pounds, 240 pounds, that I'm safe from an 8-year-old girl. Not because I thought that she would do anything physically to me or hurt me. But I had to make sure that if anything was said, no, this shit was recorded right here. It was recorded. That ain't how this happened. I didn't touch you because I'm sitting here with the tablet in my hand. Recording. Training don't give you, like, the way you feel when you feel like you got to do that in order to make sure that your word is going to be solid up against any kind of accusations, even though if an accusation gets made, you will be investigated. Like, that's tough. The training don't give you how to deal with or how to feel inside about. It don't give you patience for the disrespect, especially from a kid. Like, you adults, I check adult on some of the disrespectful stuff. Don't bring that this way. The following Monday, like I said, she was suspended in school. I picked her up Thursday, suspended. Friday, suspended in school. That following Monday, I get a call at work. Come get her. Come get her. She gotta go for school. She's suspended out of school. Now, for anybody that's familiar with the Georgia area, I was working in Alpharetta. She was in school past Tanya's. Hour and 15 minutes. Hour and 15 minutes. And if you are familiar with Atlanta, you know what that traffic looked like. I pick her up. Principal is having a conversation with her. She's looking at the ceiling, not paying attention, and the principal is actually being nice and telling her, you have potential. Having that conversation. But you can't do the things that you're doing. All of that went in one ear and out the other. She was lit. We get in the car. I'm on my way home. We are on 20. I talking to my mom, and I'm driving down the highway, and she puts her foot up on the headrest next to my head. She was trying it. Put your foot down, please. She act like I wasn't talking to nobody. Training they don't talk about what happened when the kid put their foot up on your headrest. Or a kid put their foot up next to your head while you driving. Thought I was going to pull the car over. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest in this situation right now. I wanted to pull the car over. I wanted to pull the car over. She was telling me how bad of a foster parent I was and how I was just like everybody else. I was just like anybody else. I wouldn't let her do the things that she wanted to do. And none of it ever made sense to her that you can be suspended in school for 2 days when I meet you. Suspended out of school 2 days. The following week. And why your behavior is not getting you the things that you want while you were here. Didn't understand that. But she was trying me in a way that I could tell that she wanted me to do something to her. She wanted me to do something bad to her. She was trying to get hit so that she could move and go somewhere else where she could run over some foster parents. What? She was trying to get hit. She was trying to get cussed out. She was trying to make something happen that she could tell on me about and that they can move her. Not that easy, fam. You tried it. And once it got to the point where I could tell that you was really trying it, like that was your angle, that was your intention. That you wasn't going to put your foot down because you know, and she knew that it had worked. It worked in the past. Listen, the best L that you ever was going to take was having to deal with me. That was the best L that you was going to have to take. You just going to have to deal with me. I told her, I was like, oh, you good. You real good. You almost. You was 51% there, but then I realized, like, you only 8. I'm smarter than you. You can't get me. Before we got home, that food was back on the ground. I didn't touch it. Greatest L. Now here's the kicker. She ended up missing out on Halloween. Had no idea why. Outside of her being suspended. They had, like I said, it was just an emergency placement. They came and got her. 2 weeks after she was gone, I get a call from either one of the agencies or DFACS asking, hey, do you still have her medication? Do I got what? Do I got what? You have got to be kidding me. Y'all done gave us this girl raw. She been lit for 2 weeks. She was set up to fail. 9 homes in 2 years. 9 homes in 2 years. You asked me 2 weeks later, where's her medication? I'm asking you, where was her medication last month when she was at our house? That's the real question, because her whole situation could have been different. You can imagine my surprise when she told me, like, oh yeah, she's supposed to be on this medication, this medication, this medication. But why are we happy? That's what I want to know. It should have came with her. Like, we took her to a carnival. Like, we didn't need her to have a couple days of, a couple solid days. And it was really only one day. Like, hey, just have a solid day so we can go do something fun. Just want to do something fun. That's it. We wanted you to have a good time while you were here. At least. We tried. We got a couple white kids after that, outside of the preference, but we had a reason for that. We still accepted them. The training, I keep going back to the training, and I think at some point I'm probably going to have a conversation with a higher up in this situation, just so that we can figure out different ways to prepare people for what's going to happen after the placement. And so, training doesn't prepare you for the looks that you get while you're out with two white kids and you're a black parent. You get looked at like, where you find these kids at? Where you get them from? Now, if they were mixed, just an interracial relationship, cool. All white, find them at. We took the kids to Myrtle Beach. Yes, Myrtle Beach. Sounds like a wonderful place until you drive past that big ass Confederate store. But we took the kids, we want them to have a good time. Went out to breakfast one morning. And in this breakfast spot, I'm almost willing to say on the low end, it was 91% people that did not look like me. We're having breakfast, and this old white guy walked up to our table, gave the kids gold $1 coins. Now, on the surface, it seems like a very nice gesture. And maybe he's just the guy that just ride around with a pocket full of gold coins just to give random kids. Just want to drop blessings off on these kids. Gold $1 blessings off on these kids. Or could have been a wellness check. You guys say? I'm just coming over here to give y'all some coins. Blink twice if you in trouble. Like, this is what it felt like. That was weird. That was weird. And when I said, listen, I don't want y'all to think like, it's not, I'm fussing, I'm venting, I'm telling you about some of the stuff. And of course, it was not all bad. It's not all bad. You learn a lot about yourself. When we had these two kids, you learn that when you go from no kids to two, oh, you're going to be wore out. We was wore out every day. They went to bed at 8. We was in the bed by 8:45. I was going to bed with my wife every day. She'd go to bed at 8:47 every night for the most part. Not now, because her job is different. But back then, 8:47. I was right behind her, like, yeah, I'm tired. We sitting there trying to watch a show. We finally get some adult time. We both like, damn, I'm tired. Let's go ahead and go to bed. Slow down. But this whole time, you're learning. You're learning how to deal with kids. And a lot of people don't make it because it's just hard to deal with the stuff that comes with fostering. The information that you may not get when you bring a kid into your home and they like you, they look at you like you the mark. I learned that taking kids to the movies ain't for me. Avengers Endgame was the last movie that I went to go see. That's probably I'm probably not gonna ever take a kid to the movie again. Unless they're old enough to go to the bathroom by themselves. Like legit. I've told this story before. Probably gonna get in trouble for a part of it, but it doesn't matter. This is what we do. Stopped at Dollar General, got the kids some candy, stuck the candy in my pockets on the way over to the theater. The oldest boy, I took the boys. Baby girl stayed at home, went to go see Avengers Endgame, bought the tickets online. I'm waiting in line to show the person my online ticket, and the oldest kid is like, "Hey, Mr. Jason, I think you forgot our candy." Now we outside. Hey, I got this. Don't you worry about it. And he was like, "Well, Mr. Jason, I didn't see you get it. I think it was still in the bag." Hey, number one, chill, bro. Like, we good. Oh, it's in your pocket. Hey, all right. Just get us locked up there. Just get us locked up. So you gonna get us pulled out of line because you want to be Columbo and figure out where the damn candy is, and I told you I had it. We get in the theater. Hey, look, this is a long movie, guys. So if you gotta go to the bathroom, we need to stop now. Oh no, I'm good, Mr. J. I'm good. You sure? Because this is a long movie. I don't want to get up. Y'all got y'all. All right, cool. We go in the theater. We in the nice one too. They got the reclining seats. The kids back there. Hey, get it in one spot. Get it in one spot and relax. Okay, cool. We watch all the previews. Number two, as soon as you know how it looks when they got the previews going, and then once the previews in, it gets a little darker. Curtain closed just a little bit. I get a tap. Mr. Jason, I gotta go to the bathroom. You gotta do what? I gotta go to the bathroom. It's an emergency. Damn, boy, I just asked you if you had to go to the bathroom. Like, for real? Yeah. We go to I'm like, you waited right till the previews went off to say you had to go to the bathroom. We go to the bathroom. Now, he's a little guy. He go into the stall. All the urinals was adult height. He go into the stall and he sits down. Hey, buddy, what you doing? Kadunga? Kablanka? Are you boo-booing right now? Yes. You know what? Both of y'all. Worst movie experience ever. We 20 minutes into he doo-doo it felt like 20 minutes. We get back into the theater. Hey, number one, what I missed? I don't know. What the hell you mean you don't know? You wasn't watching? I don't know what I missed. You know what? This is about to be the longest. This is about to be the longest 2 hours and 40 minutes in my life. Like this is the worst. This is the worst. So I'm sitting here, I'm watching the movie, and he's asking me what's going on in the movie, and I'm like, hey, I'm watching it for the first time just like you. What are we doing here? I definitely learned that this was not going to be the thing. Like taking kids to the movie was not going to be my thing. I don't have the patience for it. Also learned that changing diapers is rough. I don't think it's going to be anything that I'm ever going to get used to. Like I couldn't wait until we got, baby girl potty trained, because she had blasted her. Like every time it was up to me to change her diaper, she had a booty explosion. Like it was doo-doo everywhere, all up her back, all up in her fox. And I'm like, yo, how did you get doo-doo in the front? There's too much boo-boo. Like, how come I can't get in under the solid joints? Like, why all of yours is the soupy runny kind? Like, what I do know is that you're supposed to go front to back. I just don't hit me with no other surprise. Like, are you done? Please be done. Like, that was the worst. And then I had my wife and I, I'm over it now. I'm over it now. But when we first got baby girl and she was able to take showers, I was against it. So guys, like, I was one of those people that felt like, hey, if you, like, ladies should bathe little girls because they know how to bathe little girls. They know what should happen and what shouldn't happen. And she was insisting on, hey, if I'm cooking, you can at least get in my bath. All right, cool. Listen, I go up there reluctantly. I'm being honest with y'all. Reluctantly, I'm out here giving this girl a bath, but I'm still thinking like, I shouldn't be doing this. All right. Soaked up the towel. Boom, boom, boom. I'm washing everything. It's soap on everything. It's soap head from the rooter to the tutor, head and toe. I'm talking, it's soap. I didn't know that you wasn't supposed to put soap in the box. Like I'm sitting up here, I'm washing everything. Boop, up under the arms, bam. I go downstairs and tell my wife. She was like, yeah. It got kind of weird when we was washing the fox, but it kind of is what it is. She was like, wait, you put soap on there? Yeah. How else is it gonna get clean? She had doodle on the box earlier. It needed some soap. Hey.
Wrong.
Shouldn't have done that. I wasn't supposed to soap up the fox. It also got weird when I gave baby girl my wife got the detachable shower head. And so baby girl was washing herself off with the shower head. Boom. And then it got to her fox and she just held it there. And I'm like, hey. Chill on all of that fox washing. Like you can't just, I understand. I've heard of adult women doing this. You, little girl, need to chill. Like you're not supposed to be out here just holding it down there like that's something to do. Like first of all, relax. Give me that. Give it to me. Put the damn thing down. Nasty. But you're not like. I know now. Hey, don't soap the fox. Don't soap the fox and make sure that they chill when it comes to that detachable shower head. But once again, like all of these things teach you, and once again, not all kids the same, because at this point, like I said, we had them for a long time. We didn't know how long. You never really know how long it's gonna be. They tell you one thing, but it could be something different. But then we got a real one. Another real one. The unfortunate part is the real ones that we've had has been girls. And once again, from the moment she stepped foot in the house, I felt like I was in danger. And it was just something about the older ones that got a little, I feel like I know something. Those give me caution all the time. Now, I don't know what it's like for women and how they feel when it comes to boys. And I feel like boys try it if a man's not around. Like, I feel like there are boys that'll try it. But from the time she walked in the house, I'm allergic to dogs. Ooh, well, we got 3. This is about to be a problem for you. But she looked at it like, hey, this is my way not to be here. Hey, I called my wife like, hey, baby, this girl said she allergic to dogs. You ain't asked that. Cause now I'm looking upside wifey head like, well, why we got this little girl here that's supposedly allergic to dogs? On the flip side, I'm also like, well, maybe I should give her some Benadryl. She ain't swollen up and she ain't dead yet, cause if she allergic for real. We got enough dog hair in this house that it's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be a problem. She gonna die. She gonna look like Hitch. She gonna look like Martin after he fought Tommy Hearn with the big head. It's gonna be all bad. No, it wasn't the truth. Wasn't the truth. We sitting there and she's sitting on one chair. I'm sitting on the other side of our living room, far. And, we just having a conversation. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm not feeling comfortable because I don't like being out. I didn't like being at home by myself with somebody that I did not feel like was honest. And, she was telling me stories about cats opening doors and stuff like that, like 2 kittens opening doors. And then she looked around and she said, y'all ain't got no cameras? Oh, shit. Hold up, cuz. Hold up. Hey. Baby. I'm texting her like, we gotta get some cameras.
Bruh.
We gotta get some cameras, yo. Right now, she just asked me if we have something. That means we need to get some. That's exactly what that means. That's exactly what that means. She told me her birthday was. She lied about her birthday. This was day 1 within 30 minutes. I didn't know about the lie about the birthday until a couple days later. But she said her birthday was in November. Her birthday, she wasn't gonna have a birthday until Q2 next year. Like, come on, man, what we doing? That birthday wasn't gonna be until April. It all sounded fishy when she said that all her family, they all celebrate their birthdays on the same day. I was like, hold on. Let me look. Hey, can we get that search party out to see who she thinks she's talking to? Because none of this stuff sounds right. But it was always the issue that she had with me. She was always different with my wife. I told my wife, it was like one of them haunted house movies where, the one of the couples, they really liked the house. The other couple, when the other person in the couple, the relationship, they was like, hey, something wrong with this house. No, I love you. You just need to get used to it. No, yeah, I promise there's something wrong with this house. No, it's okay. You just just a little creaky. Don't even worry about it. In the meanwhile, while the one person is gone, TV's turning on, record player playing, doors slamming. Man, we need to move. Like, this something ain't right. This is what it was in that situation. And I was like, listen, this little girl ain't about to make me feel like I'm crazy. Baby, you need to listen to me. I'm pleading like, baby, you got to believe me. Please believe me. Until it happened. And then, of course, in all those movies, the house turned on everybody. And then you get a chance to see the real. Well, she turned on everybody. We got a chance to see the real. But like I said, she was another person that was on, listen, I'm going to push the envelope. I'm going to try it. I'm going to do what I want to do. And at that point, like, you don't even allow other adults to do what they want to do in your house. We had kids that came over and within 30 minutes, they was in the refrigerator. Unprompted, like, hey, what y'all got in here? All in the freezer. Most kids don't even look in the freezer. These boys is in the freezer like, hey, what y'all got? Ain't got no snacks? Training don't talk about that. Training just don't talk about that. Training don't talk about what it looks like for somebody when you just assume that a kid of a particular age knows something. Like you just assume that, hey, they know how to dress, or they have a particular outlook on how things came to be. And one of the things, like, I was surprised the girl made good grades in school, but we had a conversation about seafood, and I was like, well, they had seafood at this restaurant. I mean, catfish ain't necessarily seafood, but it's considered fish. And she was like, no, cat food can't be fish because it's made from a cat. No. Hey, first of all, don't ever say that again. Did you think that a cat and a fish made that happen? Like it was a cat and a fish, and they decided that and now we got catfish? You're too smart for that. Let me tell you, please don't ever say that again. Not how that works. But I will say this, guys. We still learning. We still at it. And so for us to be doing it over 5 years now, we've gotten some good out of it. And one of the rewarding things is knowing that you are making a positive influence on a kid that wasn't getting it. Now, the unfortunate part about it is you might not ever see the work that you put in. You might not ever see the work that you put in, but you know that if you're giving it your all, you just hope that some of these lessons, because you're constantly giving lessons and you're pouring into and you're trying to filter out and you're pouring into and you're filtering out and pouring into, and you just hope that some of this stuff, something sticks, whether it's how to dress, proper way to speak, a proper way to do something, a thought process that they had before in regards to whatever that you've taken the time to correct. You help kids read, you help kids take their first step. Like all of these things make a difference. And so this is for whoever is thinking about fostering. Do your research, have at it. This is your boy, Mr. 710, signing out. Be gone.